Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, I am Advaya Karnik. Just graduated from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. It's been a month. Got into blockchain in 2019. 1920 was full of work and studies about Ethereum blockchain basics. In 2021, got into ZK. Went to a university called Hochschule to research about ZK under a prof. Used to attend a lot of conferences over there around ZK and overall blockchain, and got into a couple of internships. One into Geneva, learned French. Another was a company called Pizza Wallet. You must have heard. They were building some wallet. Came back to India and started working mostly around Cosmos. That's where I got more interested into lately. Cosmos was in smart contract development, and Solana more into Rust and speed. But yeah, I'm highly updated about Ethereum protocols and final D app. Amazing. So today I'm gonna introduce you to VeTokens. The best line sort of thing or code that I could have got for I could think of for VeTokens for a smarter way to sustain liquidity. Amazing, right? So I'll introduce you to VeTokens, but in a different way, and by making you way curious, right? Amazing. So before asking me what are VeTokens, why do we need, I would like to think why do we exactly need VeTokens, and that's what I'm gonna explain, right? One. So every D app, every smart contract, every protocol that's built on Ethereum or any other blockchain wants two things. One, liquidity. They want a lot of value to be locked inside of their protocols. They want their users to be always engaged, having transactions around protocol, and users are being engaged. That's why they create Discord and Telegram group, right? So there are two main aspects of every protocol. There is liquidity and there is engagement. And guess what? VTokens solves both of the problems. Now, one basic thing: the protocol or these D apps can easily, or it's pretty easy for D apps to saturate a lot of customers. But as the time begins, they keep losing customers, they keep losing their liquidity. It's really, really super hard to sustain liquidity for long term, to sustain engagement for the long term. And VTokens solves this problem perfectly. Amazing, right? So that's why we need VTokens. Now I'll explain why these problems comes, why liquidity and engagement, why having liquidity and engagement for long term comes into play, why this is hard, right? If anyone can pull a lot of customers in early days, they should be pretty fine to go long term, right? But that's not the case when we deal with protocols. And that's now I'm going to explain why sustaining liquidity and engagement for long term is hard. So just have a look at the statistics, have a look at this data. There has been 264% increment in number of D apps that were made from 2021 to 2022. The global DeFi market is set to be 13.61 billion, gonna be which is expected to be compound annually growth at rate of 46% from 2023 to 2030. So these are like a huge numbers, right? These are extremely bull number, where a lot of money gonna come into uh, Ethereum, a lot of money gonna into DeFi, and hence what user like you and me, what we do, or what any user in this world do, they try to jump from one protocol to another protocol, finding better opportunities for the financial purposes. So I got this image where a user is trying or learning about different protocols, having different graphs over there. He has a lot of data and he's thinking, where should I invest next for his financial purpose, right? Yeah. And here's another list of protocols that I got. So these are protocols just based around stablecoin: Tether, USDC, DAI, Frax protocol. So basically these were the DAI over collateralized mechanism, which was which did pretty well. Frax is again partially algorithmic, partially collateralized, stable coin. Liquidity, another stable. So I want you to understand there is like constant innovation, constant thinking, constant building that's happening around DeFi space. And there is every day there is new people coming to DeFi space who are building new tech into this space. There is constant evolution, and hence the D apps that were built already in 2018, 19, 20, they are losing their liquidity, they are losing their engagement, and VeTokens solves this problem perfectly. So I need to go ahead. Yeah. So Curve introduced VeTokens to solve these two problems. The problems of not being able to sustain liquidity and engagement for long term. So Curve introduced VeTokens. In terms of Curve, we call VeTokens as VCRV tokens. So basically there is some sort of vault where Curve says you lock your CRV tokens into our vault and we'll give you VCRV tokens. Now, there is a lot of misconfusions that V tokens are ERC20 standards. No, they are not ERC20 standards. They don't have transfer function. They can't be transferred. They have a specific decay value. So these VCRV tokens decay at a specific rate, and when they are decayed completely, you can basically take out your CRV tokens and then take out your liquidity, right? So when your CRV tokens are locked, you can't literally take out your liquidity. When your CRV tokens are locked, you can't sell them as well. If you can't sell them, there will be less number of CRV tokens in the market, and hence less people will push towards the downer side, or less people will be willing to sell, right? Because demand will be high, because lot of CRV tokens are locked, and you won't sell it, and hence you won't, and as you won't sell it, there won't be a much supply, right? And as you can't as you don't have access to your CRV tokens, you actually can't take your liquidity out. And we can say that as your CRV tokens are locked and you own them, they are just locked, then you are in a kind of engaged with the protocol. So that's how Curve introduced V tokens to solve problems of liquidity and engagement. Now I'm gonna explain how Curve solve this, uh, how Curve solves this problem using VCRV, how VCRV token works, and what are additional features that Curve gives to VCRV tokens. Right now, there are different dApps that are trying to give different features to V tokens of their associated liquidity token, but in terms of Curve, I'm gonna explain you with an example. So this is some sort of user. Consider this user who has liquidity in Curve pool, who has also liquidity in Gauge, who has a lot of CRV. Now he gives his CRV to a time lock, some sort of vault where he locks his CRV token. He owns that CRV token, and he gets V token, which will decay at specific period. And once all the tokens are decayed, then he has access to this CRV token, and only then he can get his liquidity out. Amazing, right? While having this VCRV token, you get two benefits. One, one, so the trading fees that are generated by the protocol by traders into the pool, the 50% of the total fee generated are sent to VCRV token holders. So that's a good number. If you have a bunch of CRV tokens, you are really bullish on the tin, you can literally buy a lot of CRV, lock them, have VCRV, and earn 50% of or earn the percentage of your uh, VCR, some sort of percentage of your what your VCRV token contributes to the total VCRV, right? Yeah. You also get one more feature where you can earn up to boost, where your rewards get boost up to 2.5x. I'll explain how that works as well in the next slide. So this is some sort of value proposition that Curve brought into play. You can there are like two things that I want you to address pretty well, and you should definitely have a look at it. You can't literally earn any kind of governance fee having CRV token, having liquidity in the pool, if you don't have VCRV. So if you have liquidity in pool but no CRV, you can't earn governance fees, sorry. So if and only if you have VCRV tokens, you can earn governance fees. Look, VCRV yes, VCRV yes, VCRV yes, and that's a big thing, that's a big deal, that's a big income, and hence there are a lot of people who gonna get attracted to this deal. Again, you can't literally vote for the proposals or DAO proposals if you don't have VCRV. So you need to have VCRV to to vote for the proposals. Now imagine a scenario where you have lot of CRV tokens, and as you have lot, like literally like more than 6-7% of the total CRV supply. This is just a case scenario. Just consider you have lot of these, like a huge number of CRV tokens, but you still can't vote. You still can't vote until and unless you have VCRV, right? So if you have VCRV, you have bunch of CRV VCRV tokens. I mean, you have bunch of locked CRV tokens and a VCRV token which is decaying, and you have some sort of right to vote. Then you can literally vote for higher rewards uh, around governance and around gauge, and you can literally decide at what emission rate should a protocol emit new CRV tokens, and that's where gauge comes into play. Gauge is again outside of this presentation. uh, that has nothing to do with VCRVs. I'm not explaining it over here, but if you have, but my point is, if you have a lot of if you have a lot bunch of CRV tokens, you can literally have a lot of power and earn more fees and rewards in every terms. I believe Curve have done really great job in tokenomics on VCRV and rewarding the VCRV token holders amazingly. So that's all. I mean, that's all from my side. I'll just revive you. So basically, V tokens are some sort of tokens which you get when you lock your liquidity tokens. When you lock your liquidity tokens, you can't really remove the liquidity out of protocol, and you can't sell it. As you can't remove the liquidity out of protocol, the liquidity sustains for a longer period of time. As you can't sell it, the supply to the market will be lesser as your tokens are locked, and as supply will be less, uh, the price won't decrease much. Secondly, you keep engaged with the protocol, and in terms of curve have seen really nice improvement after introduction of V tokens. So that's another picture that I got, where curve is ahead of race with its competitors after getting V tokens. So that's all from my side. I genuinely believe you got my point. I hope I brought some curiosity into you about thinking about curve token. I got another perspective, and that's all from my side. You can definitely reach out to me if you have any kind of doubts. I'll be definitely up to solve any queries. Thank you so much. uh, Thank you for having me.